Quietly resting along the Indian Ocean, Mozambique isn't loud or flashy, but it holds a rare beauty and a culture still untouched by time. If you're looking for a place that's truly different and far from the beaten path, join Discover Wonders as we uncover the secrets of this remarkable land. Mozambique's coastline, a hidden paradise. Mozambique's long, sun-kissed coastline is a destination that still feels like a well-kept secret. Stretching over 2,400 kilometers along the Indian Ocean, it offers a surreal combination of untouched beaches, swaying palms, and vibrant coral reefs. Unlike many crowded coastal hotspots around the world, here travelers find peace, authenticity, and a rhythm of life guided by the sea. The historic Mozambique island whispers stories of Portuguese colonialism and Swahili influence through its faded forts and coral stone buildings. In the south, Ponta de Ouro brings energy and warmth, where surfers, divers, and beachgoers gather for laid-back fun and ocean encounters. Ponta Mamoli offers quiet, almost spiritual retreats where sea turtles return each year to nest under moonlit skies. Meanwhile, the Bazaruto archipelago feels like a different world. Its clear turquoise waters, sand dunes, and marine reserves make it a paradise for divers, snorkelers, and sailors alike. Beyond the postcard beauty, Mozambique's coast reveals something deeper, a place where nature and history meet, and where the ocean still sets the pace of life. The soundtrack of a nation, Mozambique's music scene. Mozambique's music is a vibrant expression of its cultural heartbeat, an audio journey that weaves together past and present, tradition and rebellion. Across the country, music is not just entertainment. It's a living archive of memory, identity, and resistance. The iconic marabenta, born in the streets of Maputo during the colonial era, was more than a rhythm. It was a protest wrapped in melody. Today, its fast-paced beats still fill dance floors and urban festivals. In rural communities, traditional sounds such as the soulful notes of the timbila, a wooden xylophone used by the Chopi people, carry forward centuries-old stories and rituals. Meanwhile, Mozambique cities have become melting pots for modern genres like Afro-jazz, dancehall, reggae, and hip-hop, with artists using music to spotlight social issues and inspire youth movements. Whether played on handcrafted instruments or booming speakers, Mozambique's music scene is dynamic, powerful, and deeply personal. It speaks to who Mozambicans are and where they're going. A culinary journey like no other. Mozambican cuisine is a celebration of cultural convergence, a flavorful tapestry shaped by African roots, Portuguese colonial history, and Indian Ocean trade. The result is a culinary identity that is bold, diverse, and unforgettable. At the heart of daily meals is zima, a soft maize porridge that pairs with stews and sauces. One of the country's most beloved dishes is matapa, made from cassava leaves simmered in coconut milk with ground peanuts and seafood. But it's the fiery piri-piri chicken, grilled and marinated in spicy chili sauce, that often steals the show, alongside platters of fresh prawns, crab, and calamari caught from the nearby ocean. Mozambique's cuisine also offers sweet endings, like bolo polana, a dense, rich cake made from mashed potatoes and ground cashews, uniquely Mozambican in both origin and flavor. Every dish tells a story, not just of ingredients and spices, but of people, trade, resilience, and creativity passed down through generations. The battle to save the rhinos. In Mozambique, the plight of the rhino is both a tragedy and a tale of hope. Decades of ruthless poaching, driven by the global black market for rhino horn, left the country's rhino population nearly wiped out. The loss extended beyond the animals themselves. It struck at the heart of Mozambique's natural heritage. But a turnaround is underway. In 2022, a landmark conservation effort saw the reintroduction of 27 southern white and black rhinos from South Africa to Zinov National Park. These rhinos are now under 247 surveillance by trained rangers and conservationists. Some have even had their horns removed, an extreme but effective method to reduce their value to poachers. Anti-poaching units, community partnerships, and conservation NGOs are now working in tandem, not just to protect wildlife, but to involve local people in long-term preservation efforts. Though the road ahead is long, each rhino that roams free is a symbol of what can be reclaimed. Engineering marvel: the Maputo-Katembe Bridge. Standing tall over Maputo Bay, the Maputo-Katembe Bridge is more than a piece of infrastructure. It's a symbol of connectivity, progress, and national ambition. Completed in 2018, this engineering marvel is the longest suspension bridge in Africa, stretching over 3 kilometers. Before the bridge, the journey from Maputo to the town of Katembe was a cumbersome ferry ride or a long detour by road. Now, what once took 9 hours can be done in just 4. The bridge connects the capital to the southern provinces and has become a vital corridor for commerce, tourism, and development. Funded through a partnership with China at a cost of $750 million, the project has sparked debates about debt and sovereignty, but few question its transformative impact. To many, the bridge represents a nation looking forward, building links across rivers, regions, and histories. Untamed beauty: Mozambique's wildlife and national parks. For those seeking raw, untouched wilderness, Mozambique offers some of Africa's most breathtaking natural sanctuaries. With 6 national parks and 6 game reserves covering over 12% of the country's land area, it's a haven for biodiversity and a rising star in ecotourism. The vast Niassa Reserve in the north is Mozambique's largest protected area, home to a spectacular range of species, from elephants and lions to rare wild dogs and sable antelope. In Gorongosa National Park, a post-war restoration success story, science and community conservation are bringing ecosystems back from the brink. Visitors can witness elephants roaming freely, birds migrating across wetlands, and herds of antelope grazing under open skies. These parks are more than tourist destinations. They are strongholds of environmental stewardship, where nature is not only preserved, but actively healed. For travelers, they offer not just safaris, but encounters with a world still ruled by nature's laws. Cashew gold, a national treasure. Mozambique's relationship with the cashew nut runs deep. Once the world's largest exporter, the country's cashew industry collapsed in the late 20th century due to economic mismanagement and civil war. But now, it's experiencing a powerful resurgence. Today, cashew orchards stretch across rural landscapes, providing income and stability for more than 1 million Mozambicans. The country is on track to produce 160,000 tons by 2024, reviving old factories and sparking new investments in local processing. Unlike raw exports, processed cashew kernels add significant value and generate more employment, particularly for women working in shelling and packaging plants. For many families, cashew farming is more than agriculture. It's legacy, a tradition handed down through generations, offering not just livelihood, but pride and independence. In the hands of these farmers, the humble cashew has once again become a national treasure, The story behind Mozambique's unique flag. Mozambique's national flag stands alone on the global stage, not only in design, but in what it symbolizes. Adopted in 1983, it is the only flag in the world that features a modern weapon, an AK-47 crossed with a hoe, set beside a book and a star. While striking, every detail tells a chapter of the nation's story. The rifle represents vigilance and the long fight for independence. The hoe symbolizes agriculture and the labor that sustains communities. The open book highlights the value placed on education, while the star points to international solidarity. Far from being just a visual emblem, this flag is a declaration of Mozambique's journey, one marked by revolution, reconstruction, and hope. Training to be the perfect wife. Across many rural regions of Mozambique, young girls still participate in traditional initiation rites, rituals passed from mothers to daughters over generations. One of the most discussed is the wife preparation school, where girls, often in their early teens, are taught the expectations of married life. These week-long sessions include lessons on cooking, respect, emotional regulation, and how to serve one's future husband. While supporters view them as important cultural customs that teach discipline and heritage, critics raise valid concerns about gender roles, early marriage, and a lack of consent. As modern values gradually intersect with long-standing traditions, Mozambique finds itself at a cultural crossroads. A nation of youth, the future of Mozambique. With one of the youngest populations in the world, Mozambique is a nation powered by youth. The median age hovers just above 17, and nearly half of its citizens are under 15 years old. This demographic surge offers immense potential, but also poses serious challenges. For this young generation to thrive, investment in their future is non-negotiable. Access to quality education, vocational training, healthcare, and employment opportunities will determine whether this population becomes a driving force for progress or remains trapped in cycles of poverty. Mozambique's future is being shaped today in its classrooms, clinics, and job markets. Gas and growth. The energy boom in northern Mozambique. Northern Mozambique has found itself in the global spotlight thanks to some of the largest natural gas discoveries in recent history. Offshore fields like Area 1 and Area 4 have drawn billions in foreign investment and positioned the country as a potential energy powerhouse. However, the promise of prosperity comes with trade-offs. Entire villages have been relocated to make way for industrial infrastructure. Natural habitats, including protected areas like the Quirimbas National Park, face growing threats. The question now facing Mozambique is how to balance economic opportunity with environmental protection and human rights. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. A public health emergency. Mozambique's immune crisis. Mozambique is grappling with a severe public health challenge that affects millions. One of the highest global rates of immune-compromising conditions, particularly HIV/AIDS, has placed enormous pressure on the country's healthcare system. The crisis is most acute in densely populated urban centers and along major transportation routes. Factors such as limited medical infrastructure, inadequate access to testing and treatment, and persistent social stigma only deepen the issue. For many, early diagnosis and consistent care remain out of reach. Without urgent intervention and community-based education, the situation risks spiraling further out of control. A nation of many tongues. Mozambique's linguistic diversity. Mozambique is a linguistic mosaic, home to more than 80 spoken languages. Portuguese serves as the official language, a legacy of colonial rule, but it is far from the only voice heard across the country. Indigenous Bantu languages flourish regionally, while Swahili resonates along the northern coast. Each language is a cultural time capsule, preserving oral traditions, ancestral wisdom, and regional identity. This linguistic diversity is not just a marker of communication. It is a living archive of Mozambique's rich multi-ethnic heritage. Yet with the rise of urbanization and modernization, efforts to preserve these languages have become more important than ever. The dangerous myths behind baldness and albinism. In some parts of Mozambique, deeply rooted superstitions have led to tragic consequences. Individuals with albinism, as well as bald men, have been targeted in violent rituals linked to ancient beliefs about spiritual power and prosperity. These acts are often driven by moody practices, traditional medicine rituals that sometimes involve human body parts, believed by some to hold supernatural properties. The result has been a pattern of attacks and abductions that have sparked both national and international alarm. Fortunately, awareness campaigns, legal protections, and the efforts of NGOs are making strides in shifting public perception and providing at-risk individuals with greater safety. If today's journey through Mozambique inspired you, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss what's next. What country should we explore next? Drop your suggestions in the comments. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next adventure.